were discussing earlier, Elon Musk might have grand designs in space, but it appears he also has tiny ones here on Earth. Musk reportedly owns a home like this that can be set up in just an hour, costing just under $50,000. The company behind it is called Boxable, and it wants to change the way we think about housing. Boxable's director and founder Galliano Tiramani joins us now from Las Vegas. Thanks for your time today.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, I want to get a little bit more on the specs here. Once this thing is set up, how do you get services in? Where's the plumbing? And about that concrete slab that it sits on, how does it get there?
Yeah, so our first product is actually a 20 by 20 room, like kind of a little studio apartment with a kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, and couch. It deploys in just about an hour. And the idea is that our product would dramatically reduce the cycle time for builders and developers. So instead of having, 6 months to build a building, they can just prep the site with utilities and foundation and deploy our room that's fully finished from the factory in just a few hours. And by doing it this way, we think we're going to be able to dramatically lower the cost and time to build houses.
And that concrete slab, how does that come into play here?
Well, actually, our rooms don't need a foundation, or they are compatible with any different foundation type. And really at Boxable, we have just a new way to build that is better, lower cost, and we are actually mass producing these buildings in a factory, like the factory behind me right here.
I want to talk about the price because I understand the starting price is $50,000 for one of these. The website now saying the price of what's known as a casita on a case-by-case basis. Is this because of inflation, that building materials cost more, and so the price is really uncertain?
Well, the real reason is we've seen such incredible interest and demand in the product. So now the wait list has over 130,000 names on it of people that want to buy a casita. So we're working as fast as we can, as hard as we can to scale up this first factory, which we set up just a year ago. We now have a second factory next door that we'll be moving into in a few months. And we're working on a third factory that's hopefully going to be $1 billion factory that's going to allow us to meet some of this huge demand. But the idea with the price is with 130,000 names on the wait list, we don't know when we're going to be able to deliver you your house. So we thought it made sense to just kind of pull the price because, of course, inflation, things are changing.
And then also to the price is shipping. You can ship anywhere in the world, but it's $3 to $10 a mile. So a little rough math, if I ordered one from Las Vegas to New York, so that's 2,522 miles. At $3 a mile, it's $7,500 on top of that, but it could go as high as $25,000 to ship. So that's on top of the price, right?
Yeah, our initial order when we set up this factory was to Florida for 150 houses. So we shipped them all there. I believe it was under 10,000 to ship each house over to Florida. And the idea here is that since our houses do fold up, shipping is dramatically less than a comparable modular home, which ships as a wide load and costs a lot of money. So what that's going to do is allow us to scale up manufacturing so that hopefully we can, kind of mass produce these the same way we mass produce automobiles and dramatically, push the price down. So you see most car factories producing one car per minute. We'd like to produce one house per minute in our factory.
What about where you put the house? You have to obviously own the land, and if you don't own the land, you have to have zoning, right?
Yeah, we have all kind of different use cases for these buildings. The original idea was accessory dwelling units, so backyard houses in places like California, where they've actually kind of legalized putting a backyard house in almost every backyard in the state. So in that case, you're just going to deploy one in the backyard of an existing house. But you can do other things too, like build a little village of them, or just do a new development or a vacation rental. What we're producing here are rooms, and they can also stack and connect. And the plan is that these will go far beyond the tiny house. We'll end up with a building system where we kind of mass produce different size rooms with different interiors and can build most different building types on the planet, whether it's a traditional single family or a big, 1,000-unit multifamily apartment building.
Very quickly, I'm curious because I know you've done business with the U.S. government. Any idea about doing business with cities and housing the homeless? 30 seconds.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have a huge amount of interest coming from all over, different governments, local governments, and we're working with a bunch of different places to get this housing out there to hopefully increase supply of housing, therefore lower the cost of housing, and maybe help the homeless.
All right, Galliano Terramani, thanks so much for coming on the show today. These look kind of cool.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Well, there you have it. A house in a box. A house in a box. They literally want to put you in a box. And as you can see from the clip I just played for you, these are the newest trends that's going up. An affordable living situation that you can afford to live in for a fraction of the price of a house that you can't afford to live in. And in today's market, these houses are outrageous in prices. You could get a house that you could have bought 50, 60 years ago for $10, $20, $30,000. Now they going for $250,000 and up. So with those kind of prices, who can afford those kind of houses? So this is the solution right here. A boxable house where you can afford to live for a fraction of the price. You don't have to worry about high mortgages, although I did see you can get this on a 30-year mortgage if you want to, but the price ain't going to be nowhere near as close as paying a mortgage for a house that costs 10 times as much as this right here do. So you're going to come out on top with this boxable house that they pushing right here. And although it seems good on the surface, once you look at it a little bit more deeper, you figure out what's exactly going on right here. So this is the solution to what? Overpopulation. So they're trying to box you in and put you in a box and have you live out of it. And by doing so, they're going to sell it at a reasonable price. Nobody can afford $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 houses, but everybody can afford a $20,000, a $30,000, a $40,000, or $50,000 house, because like they said, as they mass produce these houses, the price is going to go down. And you heard them say they already have 130,000 people on the list waiting for these houses to roll out. So demand is not the problem. Allegedly, it's the supply, having the materials to build these houses with. So these houses are suitable for the ones that can't afford a regular living situation. You can get you in a boxable house to live in. So with this boxable house, everybody can feel like they own a piece of the American pie. So you can have your space, and you can have an affordable price at that. But that's not exactly what they want. And I'm going to play another clip towards the end of this right here and show you the outcome that they're looking for. So this is out of the book of St. Matthew, and this is the 24th chapter, and we're going to start at the 22nd verse. And it says, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened." And if it was up to them, they would push this until they got their mission completely fulfilled. And they trying to basically box all of us into a community where we can't do anything without them telling us what to do. So this is complete control. Like when you have a cattle and you put it inside gates, this is what they want us to do. They want us to live inside these communities. And I'm going to show you a community that they already have ready to roll out. So most of these big institutions are buying up land, and one in particular is the world's largest asset manager. They're buying up single family homes. And you got another institution by the name of ACE that's buying up all the farmland, and it's going according to their plan. They're going to have us in these pods, not being able to do anything, but having us hooked up to machines via by the way of that mark in your forehead, and having you think that you living in a extravagant luxury 6-bedroom 2-bath 3-car garage house, when in actuality you are only living in a 20 by 20 pod, and they're gonna sell it to you as a, like you heard them say, a house in a box. So you're gonna be put in a box and forced to live, but you're not gonna realize it because you're gonna be hooked up to the mark in your forehead. So you're gonna think you really living in a two-story house, and it may be a 2-story pod that you living in, but it's not gonna be the traditional 2-story 1,600 or 2,000 square feet. It's gonna be a 20 by 20, almost like you living in a cell. So this is the agenda they pushing right now, and they getting ready to roll out. They're gonna have us, well, they're not, if it be the Most High will, they're not gonna have me part of this, because I pray that the Spirit stay on me and I don't fall for this, or I don't fall to this, because this right here is inhumane. They already have places like this where they have 16-story horizons and 16-story apartments and stuff like this. Well, they're going to be able to build communities. You're going to be able to transport one pod to the next and build on top of that. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about at the end of this right here. So this is their agenda right here. They pushing, and they're going to make it seem like this is good for the global economy and carbon footprints and all that type of stuff. But in actuality, it's their way of keeping a close tab on their cattle. And how do you do that? You keep them in a closed quarters where you can monitor them. And you have to have a brand, so that mark in your hand and in your forehead is going to be a way of them branding you as their cattle. So this is their agenda right here. They've already put it on mainstream media, so you can see it for yourself. But you thinking, hey, this is a nice looking house in a box, yo. It has all the utilities, the amenities of a regular house for a fraction of the price and a fraction of the size. So who can't afford a $50,000 house? And you can start off with a little bit smaller house, something that you can afford and build on later on. So once again, this is out of the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter and the 22nd verse. And it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. So we all, if it wasn't, what does it say? But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So if it wasn't for the elect's sake, we would all be forced to live in a pod, in a box, in a house in a box, eating fake food and believing that we are living in reality, when in actuality we are living in a virtual reality. Hint, the metaverse. So this is all by design. None of this is just by happenstance. This is all designed to make you to believe that it's something that you can afford. It's like putting a piece of cheese on a trap, luring you out to get this affordable housing. which is a box. And what? Next thing you know, another period where you have to be, isolated and not able to come out for who knows how long. You may be there for weeks on end. Now you stuck in a 20 by 20 going out of your mind, especially if you got a family. You can't put a family and have them to live in a 20 by 20 house structure. I'm not even going to call it a house. A 20 by 20 structure, because that's the play on words. They're trying to make it seem like it's a house, but it's a small house. It's a house in a box because it has all the amenities and all the utilities of a regular sized house. But you can't have a family live in a 20 by 20 structure unless you've been altered. And by alter, I mean marked in the head to believe and think that you are actually living in a regular sized house. And while you in that isolated period of time, whether it be weeks or months or however long they feel like shutting things down for, you're going to be stuck in your box. And through the mark in your head, you can travel and go to different places. Go on vacation, all while being in this 20 by 20 structure, this house in a box. And by not having access to sunlight, natural sunlight, which I'm going to also show you, they're going to show in this new community that they're going to recycle the energy where you're not going to need to be able to get direct interaction with the sun. What? It's going to cause you to get weaker in your immune system, which you're going to have to be relying and dependent on the medical aspect of whatever they have in store for you to boost up your immune system. This is all allegedly, by the way. So all of this and more they have in store for you. So I'm going to get ready and play this second clip for you and show you the community of these houses in a box at work and how they can come together like transformer and complete and build something that you wouldn't even believe. And this is the agenda right here, to put you in a box where you can be easily controlled and monitored. So I'm going to play this next clip from you. I'm going to play this next clip for you, and we're going to take it from there. All right, this is the end game right here as far as living quarters goes, how they want to build this thing up right here. Here we go.
For too long, humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature. Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place. Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its footprint, designing to protect and enhance nature. The line will be home to 9 million residents and will be built with a footprint of just 34 square kilometers. And we are designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life. The line's communities are organized in 3 dimensions. Residents have access to all their daily needs within 5-minute walk neighborhoods. And the line's infrastructure makes it possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes with no need for cars, resulting in 0 carbon emissions. By leveraging AI technology, services are autonomous, saving you time and effort. Designed by world-leading architects, the line is 500 meters tall, 200 meters wide, 170 kilometers long, and housed within an elegant mirror glass facade. Intelligent solutions create efficiency and year-round temperate microclimate with natural ventilation. Energy and water supplies are 100% renewable. The line is designed as a series of unique communities, offering a wealth of amenities, providing equitable views and immediate access to the surrounding nature. With 40% of the world accessible within 6 hours, at the heart of the globe's key trade routes, a place for commerce and communities to thrive like nothing on Earth seen before.
See, there you have it. That's what they want. Renewable energy. So you're not even going to get direct contact from the sun. You're going to get what they produce as energy. Zero carbon emission, no more cars. They already want us to turn in our cars right now because of the impact it's having on the ozone layer. So all of this is going to be sustainable inside the line, from transportation to living quarters. Everything is already going to be set in place for you. All you have to do, like the catchphrase is, own nothing and be happy. And that's what they pushing. You will own nothing and be happy, because compared to what you used to could own for that price, it's nothing. You're not getting anything for $50,000. You used to be able to get a nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage for $50,000. Now you barely getting enough to turn around and stretch your arms out. So you will own nothing and be happy. And that's the way they're going to set it up for you. So this is out of the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse. And it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. And that's what you see in his great wrath, how he wants to put us in a box and control us, because he knows that he have but a short time. And like I read in Matthew, if it wasn't for the elect's sake, he would be able to complete this mission, this agenda that he's setting out for. But he knows he have but a short time, so he's rolling everything out. He's pushing everything out right now. He's showing you his hand, figuratively speaking. You seeing what's on the horizon, but it's not gonna come to fruition for the elect's sake. So I'm gonna close this out in 1 Peter, and we're gonna take it from there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, and it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So we need to be sober and see and know that just because it seems good on the surface, that you got to dig deeper and actually see what's behind this devil's agenda, this deceiver's agenda. And it's to put you in a box, to make you believe something that doesn't exist exists. That's his greatest attribute. Deception, trickery, playing on your intelligence, your ability to not know what's going on or care not to know what's going on, to be happy with whatever they give you. You will own nothing and be happy. And how can you own nothing and be happy unless you being deceived and tricked? So be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And believe me, he has a pod or a boxable house with your name on it waiting for you. Only thing is, will you come to and subject yourself to living in that boxable house? Only time will tell. So stay strong, stay in the faith, and we almost home. With that being said, Shalom.